So our talk session today, first one, will be on the SAIS-EBSA, transferable process, a transboundary governance framework for sustainable management of the South Adriatic Ionian Strait, EBSA, called SAIS-EBSA. And I will be facilitating this first session. I am Khalil ATTIA. I'm the director of SPARAC, Barcelona Convention. So this session aims at informing about the systematic and transferable framework set by the Mediterranean Biodiversity Protection Community Project, the MBPC, to assist the relevant authorities in the Adriatic Ionian region to prioritize conservation through a multi-level governance approach and using the ecologically or biologically significant marine area, EBSA, as a basis for transboundary cooperation. To this aim, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So we have with us today 3 speakers who are involved in this process. They will be with us. They are actually with us online to answer several questions, to give more elements and information about this framework. So my first speaker is Mr. Peter MACKELWORTH. Excuse me if I pronounce not that good your name. Peter is an expert in the Marine Institute of Croatia. So Peter, what have been the enabling conditions for the creation of a transboundary governance framework for the management of the biodiversity of the SAIS-EBSA?
Thank you, Khalil. Thank you, everybody. Welcome from cold Croatia. The process has taken some time. The first workshops took place in 2016, and you know, we had one of the most important things about the EBSA is that it has undeniably importance from an ecological and biological perspective. So even from before that, even when it's through its recognition previously, we know that the science is sound, and we know that we have good reasoning behind why we want to protect it. So one aspect is that, you know, we have clear scientific reasoning, we have good evidence, and that evidence is growing on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis. One of the differences between this kind of EBSA and looking at the governance of this EBSA is the buy-in from certain organizations, particularly the regional players, the Barcelona Convention, the EUSAIR, both of the representatives, you know, Khalil and Mitja are here, but also the role of the nation state. And the fact that one of the nation states, particularly Montenegro, was prepared to go out on a limb and be brave and ask for the international or the regional authorities to get involved. What I can also say is that even though it's taken, let's say, 5-6 years to get where we are, if we ignore the COVID kind of interval, one of the things is timing. So we're talking about a period where we were talking about 20% by 2020, and now we're talking about 30% by 2030. One of the key themes around this is the fact that actually there is an impetus now to look at different methods and means, and the EBSA being one of them, to how do we actually implement this 30% by 2030. I would just say 1 or 2 final words, and that would be, you know, the EBSA in the Adriatic is special in the Adriatic. It's special in the Mediterranean, but there are 14, 15 other EBSAs within the Mediterranean and 300 worldwide. So whatever framework we can get in now, as an example, where we are, it's applicable in other areas according to, of course, to their context. One of the things that we really need to do, I think, across the range for conservation, is that we need to engage with this blue growth agenda, the blue growth strategy, and start to understand the ecological economics behind these areas. So that's my key points are regional players, the role of the nation states, timing, and understanding now how do we move forward, engaging with the ongoing strategies that are coming out.
Thank you, Peter. I think the 30 by 30 goal that will hopefully be agreed on these coming days will be a very good framework to justify why we have set this framework of transboundary cooperation on SAIS-EBSA, just because the most of the MPAs, existing MPAs in the Mediterranean are more or less coastal. And if we have to reach, if we want to reach the 30 by 30, we have no choice. We have to go to the high sea and we have to work on EBSAs. So thank you very much for reminding us of this very important fact. And now I would like to have the opinion and feedback from country state, member of the Barcelona Convention. And my second guest is online also, Mrs. Ivana STOJANOVIĆ. She's high responsible in the Ministry of Ecology, Spatial Planning and Urbanism of Montenegro. And my question to Ivana is, of course, as a representative of a contracting party of Barcelona Convention, how does Montenegro foresee the implementation of the commitments to this proposed transboundary governance scheme?
Thank you very much, Khalil, and I'm really sorry that we cannot be there with you in person, but still this is a great opportunity acquired, especially during COVID, to organize meetings virtually. So regarding SAIS-EBSA, I would like to say that it was great support that was provided for that process through the Interreg project MBPC, Mediterranean Biodiversity Community Protection. And in fact, Montenegro, or our ministry as a partner in that project, together with partners, discussed, and then, as you know, we approached SPARAC to get involved on behalf of UNEP-MAP and Barcelona Convention. How we see the implementation is primarily really through the use or even strengthening the existing sub-regional and regional instruments. Peter and you initially already mentioned Barcelona Convention, EUSAIR, etc. And I think that at the final event or final conference of the MBPC project, we talked a lot about the Commission for the Adriatic region that was established, I think, 40 years ago or more, and really served a lot, especially in the previous period, but hasn't been active in the last 10 years, more than 10 years. Mitja will know even better than me. So even in the framework of the EUSAIR, Montenegro was trying to, let's say, start conversations about some next meeting of this commission. But anyway, what I want to say, my point is that it is a great opportunity, the work that we started. Peter already underlined how this can be another good basis for transboundary cooperation, and especially now you're in Canada, but we are all following the COP of CBD, and we are all expecting the adoption of this global post-2020 biodiversity framework. So again, supporting Peter's timing, one of the key words. It is a really good context for this. And I really hope that MBPC project, I know that there has been a resubmission of the continuation. I hope it will be possible to continue with that project, because it will be a great support also to this, to let's say, the implementation of this governance framework. So to conclude, member state and Montenegro in particular is very much willing to continue communication also with other countries on this topic, but with, of course, support at the level of the project, technical level, but also of the all the existing regional and sub-regional frameworks. So that's it for now. Maybe we can discuss more if there are questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ivana. Let us remind ourselves that the goal 30 by 30 is already adopted at Mediterranean level last year in Antalya, in the last COP. So for now, for us, Mediterranean countries and actors, we have the framework already. And I hope that at the global level, this goal will be adopted also very soon in the coming days. I hope that the other relevant countries in the Adriatic will engage in this framework and will support this process in order to have all the countryside partner involved and supporting this process. Of course, the regional and sub-regional frameworks already existing and institutional frameworks, of course, have a very important role to play. That's why we have, with great pleasure, we have a third speaker with us, who is Mr. Mitja BRICELJ, EUSAIR TSG3, I don't know if it's right, pillar coordinator, and also Water and Investment Directorate of Slovenia, and Mediterranean Action Plan focal point. Mitja, what are the common targets set by EUSAIR and UNEP-MAP? You will speak for us also. UNEP-MAP SPARAC in the proposed governance framework, and what are the expected steps to be implemented in the imminent short term for this process?
Thank you, Khalil, for the question, and the previous speakers, my good friends, Peter and Ivana. I believe that the message is central and clear. 30% of protected areas by 2030 is, let's say, now must. It's a must, taking into account the decision of the last COP in Antalya, and it's also must, taking into account the EU biodiversity strategy. With this, I believe we are on a very good framework to do our work on the field. And this is where we are the partners, together with the structure of the Barcelona Convention. I would say, thanks God that you are with us, with SPARAC as director, and the Center for the Implementation Bioprotocol, with clear mandate for the SPAMIS. And this is something what is of the central importance to assist the countries in the shared sea area of Adriatic Ionian. This is something, this sub-region of Mediterranean, of course, and again, I believe this is the challenge, because we do have, or we are lucky that we do have opportunity to use the framework of European strategy for the Adriatic Ionian region, where again, in our pillar quality of environment, the protected areas, the network of protected areas is the central issue, how to enhance the biodiversity and the ecological status of shared sea. This is where we see you as a very important partner to assist the countries in transboundary dialogue to establish, of course, marine protected area in Adriatic Ionian region and bring the puzzles of, let's say, now protected areas together in the whole picture, whole story, which should be the network with the eco-connectivity, which will really serve the country's needs to protect and use on sustainable way ecosystem services of coastal and marine environment. This is what it's now really our business is priority. And let's say for our pillar quality, environmental quality, it's now the task very clear. We are going our action plan is to prepare the call in preparation for the action plan for the network of marine protected areas in Adriatic Ionian region. The deadline to deliver the results is quite near. It's end of April. This is what we hope it will be feasible. And then the next is the presentation and discussion about the results of this report, of course, with the whole countries. First is on the next meeting of environmental pillar of EUSAIR in end of March. And then in May on EUSAIR forum, which is going to be in May. And I believe with such a consultation, we are very good on the way to present the proposal on the next COP, which is going on Barcelona Convention, which is going to be in Slovenia in December 23, where I believe we will be able to really be very concrete, and I hope this is the hope to also to move towards 30% in 2030 in Adriatic Ionian region.
Thank you, Mitja, for these concrete schemes that could be of a great importance to push forward this process. Let me just, and I thank you for reminding us of the possibility that offers the protocol of on SPA-BD under the Barcelona Convention, which is the SPAMI, the specially protected areas of Mediterranean importance, that could be a very interesting framework to set up a conservation framework for this EBSA. And the example already existing of Pelagos Sanctuary is, as SPAMI, is a very good example. So thank you very much for you all, and have, I will say in your relevant countries, good evening, and for us, good afternoon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.